I'm Sean, this is Holly,
Yep.
and this is Travel Troubles, and welcome back. We are very chilled here today.
I got a cup of tea.
So it's a very peaceful one this week. It's my hair.
You might want to sort your barnet out first before we...
It's a bit everywhere, is it? Don't worry.
You've just made it worse. Please go look in the mirror.
No.
Sean.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
It's not. You're giving Simon for the in-betweeners a run for his money.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's alright now.
It's good.
You look a little bit more civilised. In case you didn't know, Sean's a chef and he wears a hat.
That's fine. It's fine.
What are you doing? Don't!
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't wear a hat indoors.
Why not? This is the one you made, anyway. Right,
You also can't even wear that correctly.
Right, we're good. Oh, we're actually sweating by the end of this. All right, I've got a hat on, so we're all good. We're all back to go. So this is a podcast, and that was a very weird introduction because you already.
At this point, do we have an introduction? We normally just talk nonsense.
You literally wait until the camera starts going, and then you're like, by the way, I'm gonna.
I've not even had the pluck on my chin, but that's fine.
Oh.
Got a monster growing. Found Nessie, it's on my chin.
As you can see, we really care about our looks for this podcast.
My hair's still wet from the shower.
It's not the first time your hair's been wet on a podcast either. Yes, again, luckily that so many people listen to this podcast.
Please listen, don't watch.
Yeah, don't watch. This week, the reason why we're so relaxed, I'm going to take this hat off. It's a nice hat though. Anyway, it's one you made. And the reason why we're so relaxed is because we've had a
really easy week.
A really easy week at work. A lot less hours. Just been a lot less guests in.
We're dealing with school kids just now.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned that last week.
Did we? I don't know if we did or not.
Yeah, we were going into a week of being off and then we're coming back into school kids. So it's such slow pace compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, it's been
nice.
Nice. My hours this week were 9-3.
I've only worked 24 and a half hours or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, so busy the week before as well, before we went. And it's like,
Doesn't last long though, because we're going back to adults this weekend.
It's not too many. It's not too many, I've heard. So it's not bad. Still, it's slowing down. And the best thing, and the reason why we're so relaxed, is we can see the end.
Yep.
Can't quite taste it or smell it yet, but we can see it.
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
9 weeks to go.
We're looking up places.
We're trying to get all our stuff for travel sorted, like our vaccinations. And
that's a minefield, isn't it? The vaccine.
Yeah, because Google tells you need this, and then other parts tell you don't, and then you don't actually have any legal requirement to have any vaccinations to enter.
So you can either go 0 vaccinations and go what the government says, and then it says, but you might think about getting this. But then if you go on Boots' website, which obviously gets paid to give you the vaccines, they're like, we recommend you have every single vaccine known to man before you go. And
there's a lot of them that we will have had when we were younger that we might still be in the window of. Yeah, we will be.
Yeah.
Because I'm 20, they say 25 years. You would have been about. You used to take 25 years off of your age, Sean. You would have been 6.
Yeah.
And it's still protecting you. So.
Yeah. So it's, again. The whole vaccine thing, we're probably going to get blocked on YouTube for a little bit for talking about vaccines because it's a really touchy subject. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm just not going to.
It's your body, you make your own decision over it.
That's literally it. And that's a good thing about the travel. Like the whole issue going on in 2020, you couldn't travel because you needed vaccines and stuff. Now it's up to you which ones you want to get.
Yeah, the world's open again.
You can do your own research and stuff, which is. But we're obviously looking into it.
It's also easier when you're someone who suffers with health anxiety, I would say.
Yeah.
Emetophobia. I don't. And if you know what that is, you know what it is. If you don't, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I have a phobia, and if I get poorly, that will kick in that phobia. So, I will probably get them to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I don't have mental breakdowns when I'm traveling.
Mine would be because why not get them?
So you don't get ill, and I don't have to deal with you being ill.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one thing we were looking into.
That scratch on your arm is awful.
Yeah, so we stepped the window open the other day and those flies and
Just tiny little midges that come into the room.
They don't scratch me. Apparently, I scratch myself in sleep trying to get rid of them. But yeah, that's fun. You got a big.
It's not a scratch. It's a burn
nice.
from a chafer. The downside of having kids, and yeah, we've got to be dinner ladies. Well, I have to be a dinner lady.
It's funny because you're more of a dinner lady than I am being the chef.
Yeah, I deal with food more than you are.
Well, I'm literally. I make sandwiches all day at the moment. That's my job. I literally butter sandwich, ham, sandwich, cut, cling film it up.
In case you didn't know how to make a piece.
So I go for a cheese and tuna. But that's literally my job, and that's it. And
tuna sandwiches just shouldn't exist. Point blank. Anyway. So.
Yeah.
Fishy, if you ask me.
So, let's move on. Have we got anything we want to say travel-wise, what we've done this week? Because I was about to move on. Where have we been?
We enjoyed the trip down to Bowness and Windermere yesterday.
Oh, we did, yes.
And it was smooth sailing-ish.
Yeah, no rain either.
Yeah, and not many tourists.
Yeah, a lot less.
We noticed the wind down of the season big time.
Yeah, it's nice to... So if you are planning to come, let's be fair, it's been quite nice weather this week.
If you're a hospitality worker and you want to travel to the Lake District, do it in October. Yeah. Towards the end of October. Because you won't deal with as many pains in the arse.
And things are still open as well. It's not like things are closed down for the
it ends at Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
The season ends, yeah.
So it's good. So yeah, there's all still the boat tours going on in Windermere. There's all...
I think that runs weather dependent most of the year.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Really?
I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. It might be till the end of October, yeah.
So, then, let's move on to our travel troubles this week. I'm going to start with a positive for you this week.
Okay.
My positive this week is, even though I wasn't very working hard at work, doing enough that I'm good enough at my job, but not really working.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, but it's still nice the fact that you came in on your day off or your morning off to go give me a coffee. That was a nice thing you did.
Yep.
That's a perk of living and working in the same place. You literally walked into my workplace and gave me a coffee.
Handed you a coffee, which I didn't do today because...
I'd already taken one.
No.
Why?
I didn't do it today because Sean, as much as he was thankful for it, then proceeded to tell me that he didn't actually enjoy coffee at this point in time and didn't want any more.
No.
Yesterday you did. You're like, yeah, you know that coffee you brought me? Yeah, I drank it, but I didn't really enjoy it. I was like, well, I'm not making you another one.
Someone else made me a coffee as well that day. Okay. And I didn't drink that one.
Wow, traitorous much.
I drank yours. Yours was lovely.
Because it was made with oat milk.
Yes. Yeah, and that was it. And yes, I'm really thankful for actually just... It's quite a perk of living and working together. Like, as much as it can be quite hard and you're always at work, it's actually quite nice that the fact that your house is literally at work, so you can have your perks of having your home coffee at work.
Yeah, and you don't have the stress of what time am I working. I don't have a photo of the road. I need to do this. You can just literally walk 20 feet, maybe.
Yeah, and just find out.
And check.
Do you want your positive about me, or?
I don't think I have one currently. So.
What, positive or negative?
I have a negative.
Go on, let's go for your negative then.
And my brains just went to mush, which is actually quite ironic. Considering we joke about when our brains go to mush, it's ADHD kicking in. Sean's negative this week is exactly that. His inability to focus on anything for a prolonged amount of time, unless it's something that Sean wants to do.
Right? Are you talking about the ADHD test? Or?
Well, I was getting to that. Sean. It's been a long-running joke with Sean and I, and well, not necessarily a joke. It's been a long-running conversation that Sean definitely has undiagnosed ADHD.
Right.
Why is that, Sean?
I can hyper focus on stuff. So
yes. No. You can hyper focus on stuff. Yes, Sean. When he wants to do something, you cannot physically peel him away from doing it. It has to be done in that moment in time. Perfect example of that is the fact that Sean has been stuck at the desk, which is just to his left-hand side, or your right-hand side,
Yeah.
for most of the week.
Yeah, probably.
When he's not in work, he is at that desk. Now, so go on Sean's Funny Backpacker YouTube, which is what this is on. Check out all the thumbnails, because Sean has changed almost all of them. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do the videos that are, you know, performing quite well." That was a lie. Yeah. Oh, well, this one's not got a view, so I better change its thumbnail. And then he comes in to me about half an hour ago, upset that Google hasn't told him he's a good boy for all his good work. Yeah.
So,
but he also an ad on Schmacebook, because I don't know if we're allowed to say it.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway. A social media website. I'm not giving them the credit.
Okay.
Do you have ADHD? This test popped up. And Sean was like, curious.
Well, it was what type of ADHD?
What type of ADHD, yeah. Alright, I'm curious. Yeah. He got to question 11 of 27 and gave up. And I was like, oh, well, what type of ADHD do you have then, Sean? Because I was assuming he was just quietly sitting down the desk. And he's like, yeah. I gave up on that.
I didn't realise that I'd given up when you I was still scrolling Facebook and you're like, oh, so what one did you get? And I was like, no, I'm on Facebook now. Literally, I was like, I found out there was 27 questions. I was like, oh, that's just too much. I can't bother with this now, and just moved on to something else. I like one of the questions was, what's your problem? Your main problem with your ADHD? And it's like distracted, this, that, and the other.
He's asking me. What do you think I have? Really, Sean? Really? You need me to answer it for you. Is it not obvious enough? Another negative I have about Sean this week.
Wow.
Is because it's just come out of my head. Yeah, he compliments all the crochet work that I do, i.e. the hat that he was wearing for part of this video and the cardigan he's wore previously. But what Sean also likes to do is he thinks that because his mother and I both crochet, and he's witnessed people crochet for years, he assumes that he knows it all. So I messed up on one of my granny squares, somehow managed to put 9 petals in a flower instead of 8, and Sean starts analysing it and telling me where I went wrong, and he was wrong. It wasn't that, but he you know, you got to give Sean credit. He thinks he can turn his hand to anything and everything. But leave my crochet out of this.
Give me 2 weeks.
No. No.
Actually, so this moves on really nicely.
Wow.
About my negative.
Let me guess.
Negative is what?
Let me guess.
Go on. You can tell them my negative about you.
The bed is my realm, and when I'm crocheting, you're not allowed on it.
Yeah, so as Holly says, there's a nice desk over there, and
Which I don't get to use.
And I have spent most of my time on that desk because. But the bed is about 90% of this room, and it is taken up by balls of crochet. If you're watching right now, there's a picture on screen. If you're listening, I mean literally, I think there was about 20 balls.
That's a rubbish room.
This is how much balls she has, and then that's
this isn't balls. This is
the granny squares.
Granny squares.
And it
That's
just
not even
takes
all.
up the bed. And then if I do want to get on the bed, for example, like watch TV or just sit, that chair over there is really uncomfortable. I want to sit somewhere after a long day at work. I get told off if I touch the ball. It's like no.
What you do is you sit on it.
I can't get to it. And I'm all right. Okay.
Or better yet, you come in earlier.
On the edge of the bed, like.
Or better yet, you come in earlier.
Right.
And I just sat and neatly wound this ball of yarn that was scrap. And Sean goes, and takes it all apart. And I'm like, buddy, I just sat for 25 minutes untangling this ball to get it to sit perfectly. And you're just throwing it about willy-nilly.
My second negative.
Wow. You're not getting a positive this week then. Stuff you.
You've done 2 negatives, so I thought also crochet related. And when I came in the other day, I've made you a nice drink, and I was like, oh, I've just made you this.
I was counting.
And I'm counting.
What's counting? It's not like people assume it's just this really easy thing. When you're starting to do like complex patterns, you have to physically be counting in your head all the time. And Sean's not the only one that has a touch of attention deficit disorder. I also do, so I have to like I have to get to a round number.
Sorry, just showing your attention deficit.
I have to get to a round number to remember what I'm doing. And the amount of times when I was making, I think it was a jumper, I ended up with extra stitches. You have to constantly focus and focus and focus and focus and focus. And you don't let me. You don't appreciate my art.
I do. I like the fact that you're doing loads of crocheting. It keeps you busy. You're happy with it.
Apart from this one, which really upset me.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, why is it not right? Yeah, Holly, well, sorry, I'll hang it up the right way. Why is it not correct? Because you put an extra bloody petal in it.
Yeah. It's still up. You're going to redo that one?
No, because that's like so much work to pull out. So it's just going to live just there.
Live to torture you.
As a lesson.
Yeah, so Holly's probably about four more patterns away from doing our own crocheting channel by the looks of this. You just wouldn't do it, would you?
I enjoy doing it. I don't
know full well it'd be me with a
to.
camera in the face, but I tell them that. The funny thing is, I'd be annoyed because I know full well the crocheting would do better than this channel.
Yeah, it's mad actually how much crochet channels make on YouTube.
Yeah.
How many views they get. I watched one that was uploaded, one of the tops I made was uploaded a month ago.
Yeah.
And she already had like 1 million views on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was quite new to.
She'd only started her channel 7 months previous. Yeah. But she already had monetization. Mad.
That's mad. Yeah, don't talk to me about that.
Yeah.
You do? Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got one.
You made me laugh.
I'll make you laugh, John.
Yeah, it was just been a bit silly off the camera. I don't know whether Sean's going to...
I'll probably have to edit out because it's a lot of like quiet and...
But we take the most menial, like, situations and we can make absolute chaos out of it and just sit and laugh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Kind of explain what went on so they can kind of get what we were talking about because I've edited it out.
I don't know how I can, because if they listen to it, they're going to know that I heard one of my colleagues call another colleague a good boy.
Oh, there you go. So let's move on to our questions for the week. Did we get any questions this week?
I mean, we did, but we've forgotten them.
Yeah, your dad said something in the coffee shop and he said, oh, this is a good...
And I can't remember if we covered it last week when we came home and filmed.
I feel like we might have. Yeah.
The last week is blurred into the week we had off as well.
Yeah. Oh, we did have, not a question in, but I did have something. Someone texted in to us, and it is my little sister. So
oh yeah, but not to abuse her.
She also gave me 2 questions. How do I write in? And like suggestions what to write in.
Well, Joe, you didn't want us to slate you, right?
All right, that's it.
No, sorry. Future sister-in-law, you didn't want us to slate you, right? Right? However, see if you actually listen to the podcast, you would know how to write in. But see, when you look at the screenshot of her saying that she's enjoyed listening to the podcast, she's right around the mark that we actually tell you.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
sure. So my sister...
She'd have 1 minute and 4 seconds left of the podcast from last episode. I'm pretty sure that's when we cover... So it's genetic, the ADHD.
So our question for the podcast this week is, how do we write into the podcast? Which seems like a really weird question to have for the podcast, because as much as she's texted me to tell me how to say, she could also just text me and just let me know her question, if that's the case. Wouldn't that just make more sense? Does she want to write in, or does she want to... I'm very confused why she wants to write into the podcast when she can just text me it. Normally the email address and stuff is for people that don't have my private message. But yeah. Yeah, she's the one that we wasn't going to...
Dad literally texts Do I insult my own father? Probably not. I was going to say a 60-year-old man could figure out how to do it. Why can't a 20-year-old woman? You know, there's 40 years age difference between, you know, yourself and my father knows how to do it.
So
this woman, the person in question is a teacher.
So if you want to write into the podcast,
Joe, this is how you do it, okay?
you can email us at traveltroublespodcast@gmail.com. You don't have an email there, I haven't checked the email address in a while. You can leave a comment on my YouTube channel, Funny Backpacker, on any of the podcasts or any of my videos. I'm going to find it. I don't get that many comments. You can leave a comment on our Instagram or send us a message.
Sean's Instagram. Oh no, it is ours.
Yeah, on our Instagram, which is Travel Troubles Podcast. Any more?
And if you can't think of anything else, just go to his Funny Backpacker pages. You'll find them there as well.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to double check that we've got no emails, because unless she sent me an email and she's getting upset, and then that's my fault for literally just mocking her for about, because I haven't checked that email address. We got.
How many email accounts do you have? Google's messaged us a few times.
Google messaged us saying your Google account is live. I don't know really how much we can do on that. Thanks, Google. Thanks for being our biggest supporter. You emailed me 3 times. So
They know you have ADHD as well, Sean. They're just making sure you know.
Probably emailed me on all my email addresses. So thanks for the email. Thanks for writing in, Joe, for that comment. I'm glad we can help you with your travel troubles. If you're struggling with writing in...
Joe's travel trouble is whether she takes a jacket outside or not. Thanks for that one, Emma. Sean's going to have a nightmare editing this podcast, whether he's just going to leave it in and this is just going to be the chaotic episode.
My sister wanted to write in. Mm-hmm. She couldn't write in because she didn't know how to write in. So she left me a message saying, how can I write in? And then she also told me not to bully her on the podcast. So I feel like this is a really hard subject. Yeah. It's like, how do I not bully you and tell you how to write in?
Just like you just did, sweetheart.
Yeah. I should really just text her back. That'd probably be nicer.
Text her back saying like this. Nothing else.
Let's just do that right here, live on...
You're going to put like this and she'll be like what? I almost guarantee it. Sorry, Joe, this isn't coming out till Thursday, so you're not going to realise how badly we've torn into you.
Yeah.
Normally I stand up for Joe as well, but I mean, sometimes you just make it really hard.
I thought I misread that. That's why I got stopped and read it about 20 times. It's like, so have you noticed that we have a trending thing, apart from your dad? Your dad doesn't get bullied. If you write into this podcast, you might get ripped into a little bit.
Yeah, we've only extended it to family and friends, not followers.
We're not going to do the...
Let's laugh at Lauren.
Yeah, I feel like... you don't really...
We can't really laugh at Lauren. We need to feel sorry for Lauren this week.
Well, what she's done this week?
Lauren got an ambulance to her work.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she? So let's not laugh at Lauren.
Let's not laugh at Lauren.
Let's be nice to Lauren.
Because Lauren doesn't have the ability to breathe, therefore can't laugh.
But Lauren and other friend should be joining us in Thailand. Or no, a
Canadian friend of the podcast.
Canadian friend of the podcast.
Which I don't actually know if Canadian friend listens to podcast.
She should do.
She should really. Yeah. She might not understand what we're saying though. She might need subtitles. She'll understand me, you. She'll live with me for 2 years. She'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, I think she just nodded like.
Well, when Sean and Canadian friend of the podcast first met, she actually had to get me to translate what Sean was saying at some points. Which was hilarious, yeah.
She was, yeah, so you...
She'd look at me and be like, what? You would do the same though with her accent? You'd be like, what? I'm like, yeah, she's got an accent, but apparently she doesn't have an accent. If she is listening to this.
Fancy schmancy.
Fancy schmancy.
Oh, look, we look like we're just bullying Canadian friend of the podcast this week.
Camera keeps crashing, like full on overheating and just dying, and we think it's because Sean's actually trying to take back everything that he said nasty about Joel and be nice to his sister.
So, quickly before the camera does crash, and if hopefully this did record, Yeah,
I was just checking that the microphone was on.
So I tried to be something nice to my sister, and she texts back, and she just left me on red, so I feel a little bit bad.
She didn't text back, she just...
She left me on red.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit bad. So I'm going to promote her Etsy shop, and it's Jo Saunders Art.
Yeah, she does prints like that, and cards as well.
Cards, yeah, it's really nice. Obviously her first ever customer, so I thought I'd promote her on the podcast.
You were our first ever customer, but you were the third person to actually write a review on her page, and I
really struggled to find out how to do it. She didn't tell me 12 times how to do it.
Yeah, you didn't know how to write in.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again
next Thursday.
Sure.